I feel like if that's what you have to say, don't say anything. Just shut up. I mean, everybody who talks about Israel these days is just so full of shit. I mean, or just not, I don't want children to die. Duh, who does? None of us want children to die. None of us want this war to go on. But it's not addressing what the problem is.
Yesterday on our show, I misspoke. And I tweeted about it last night, but I kind of want you to hear it from me directly.
Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
Bill Maher and Whoopi Goldberg are back at it, and this time it's nuclear. Their history is as spicy as a ghost pepper, and let's just say that peacemaking isn't on the menu. The subtle jabs are almost an Olympic sport at this point. So what did Whoopi say this time that earned her a VIP pass to Bill's roasting session? And how did Maher respond? It's going to be exciting, so grab some popcorn.
Past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Recently, Bill Maher attacked Whoopi Goldberg once more. At this point, it's almost a tradition, much like Thanksgiving turkey or The View spewing nonsense before lunch. This time, Maher criticized Whoopi for spreading yet more false information about powerful people because, apparently, fact-checking is only a suggestion at The View. Despite previous controversies, Whoopi is still continuing to attack. Lawsuits are piling up like unread emails after an express bad take. A delicious allegation that Elon Musk slammed her with an $80 million lawsuit is her most recent problem. Musk versus Whoopi sounds like a pay-per-view matchup waiting to happen. The Hollywood drama is as real as it gets, even though the lawsuit may be a hoax. Twitter is obviously in a complete meltdown after Maher wasted no time in launching another vicious onslaught on Whoopi.
I feel like if that's what you have to say, don't say anything. Just shut up. I mean, everybody who talks about Israel these days is just so full of shit. I mean, or just not, I don't want children to die. Duh, who does? None of us want children to die. None of us want this war to go on. But it's not addressing what the problem is.
Bill Maher is correct, really. Whoopi Goldberg might want to think about the revolutionary idea of not speaking until her legal team has had a chance to catch its breath. Every time she speaks on The View, there's a very high chance that she will say something completely out of touch with reality. It's almost like she's competing in the Olympics of misinformation, and let's just say she's winning. Many people think her opinions are as out of date as dial-up internet, and at this rate, she could be one lawsuit away from turning the show into a deposition. Perhaps she should take a break, enjoy her legendary status, and resist the urge to ruin her career one hot take at a time. Maher took on Whoopi Goldberg and her View co-hosts a few weeks ago for their relentless obsession with canceling people, and if she continues at this rate, she may not have to worry about The View at all. The show continues to let her get away with it, proving that ratings are more important than reality. The network appears perfectly content to let Whoopi destroy whatever credibility she still has, as long as the outrage keeps the clicks coming.
Past this endless, unforgiving, zero-tolerance mindset bent on punishing and disappearing anyone caught saying the wrong thing. And black people can't afford to indulge rich white people's need to endlessly flagellate themselves. They just want prices to go down.
Well, if he's right, then why didn't people vote for the former prosecutor who actually had policy plans to help the working class?
Whoopi and her group enjoy promoting tolerance, but only when it suits them or their own circle. As soon as the alleged victim happens to be someone who is not part of their ideological echo chamber, tolerance is abandoned more quickly than The View's fact-checking procedure. At that stage, the focus shifts to cancellation, public humiliation, and ensuring the individual in question is banished from civilized society. Their moral compass seems to function only when it is pointing toward individuals they admire, which is almost poetic. When one of their own is called out, it is a farce of democracy itself, an attack on free expression. What if it's someone on the opposing side, though? Cancellation is always the solution, so get your pitchforks out. It is so obvious that the hypocrisy is visible from space. However, who cares about consistency as long as they can continue to advance their story and earn those ratings? Now would be a good time to change the show's name to The Hypocrisy Hour and come clean. Do you recall when Whoopi brazenly suggested that police brutality primarily affects black people? Ben Shapiro, however, did not hold back. and ripped her for yet another misguided opinion.
She of the genius sort of sage presence on The View.
Thanks.
She's like, I'm not saying that maybe white people need to get beaten up for police reform to happen, but maybe white people need to get beaten up for police reform to happen.
But how many times do we need to see white people also get beaten before anybody will do anything?
Okay, so first of all, this is unbelievably stupid.
Yep.
We've seen many, many cases of police brutality against white people. The Daniel Shaver killing of 2016, significantly worse than what we saw with Tyree Nichols. I mean, Tyree Nichols is really, really, really bad. Daniel Shaver is literally on the ground trying to comply with officers' orders, and they just murder him. So this notion that white people have never been the victims of police violence is absolute bullcrap. It is not true in the slightest. For Whoopi, just a reminder. Whoopi Goldberg believes that everything in life is racist except Hitler.
The Holocaust isn't about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because she believes that when Hitler went after the Jews are white, so it was white on white crime.
Yes, that is the hallmark of wokeness. Just like Sonny Hostin and the rest of the View squad, they blame everything on race. It seems like racism isn't just their favorite talking point. It's their entire business model at this point. They would be more concerned with maintaining the outrage machine than having meaningful conversations. After all, what would they talk about if they weren't busy discovering racism in their morning coffee? They sorely want the real irony, but they sit on their platform and preach about equality and justice while promoting the same divisive narratives that keep people enraged, paranoid, and glued to their screens. Please, nuance, personal responsibility, and logical debate won't get them the headlines or viral clips. It's almost as if they don't want solutions, since doing so would mean losing their jobs, which makes me think of the cupcake brouhaha. Remember when Whoopi dragged a bakery to the cleaners because they refused to deliver her favorite cupcakes? She attempted to make a big deal out of it, but it ultimately backfired.
Goldberg has found herself in some hot water after accusing a Staten Island bakery of discriminating against her for her race, gender, and politics, I guess. But she's received instant karma because that Staten Island bakery is now speaking up and they're telling a different story.
The place that made these refused to make them for me.
Oh.
Can't be because I'm a woman, but perhaps they did not like my politics.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, I'm so overwhelmed by the support between finding out yesterday this even happened and then people coming in, people from all over just supporting us in every way.
And just a little background for those who know, they had a boiler here. Again, it's been here 145 years. They had a boiler that was 60 or 70 years old. And the first week in November, guess what? It went on the fritz. They had to be replaced.
A much more logical explanation as to why they could not fulfill the order. Sometimes you call in and something's going wrong and they say, right now we can't take your order. And then you call back a little later and they're able to fulfill it, which seems to be exactly what happened with Whoopi Goldberg, and which is why she had the cakes on the show in the first place.
Whoopi Goldberg practically begged for instant karma when she tried to paint a 140-year-old bakery as some sinister, discriminatory business. In her world, being denied cupcakes wasn't a minor inconvenience. It was a full-blown civil rights crisis. Reality check. The bakery wasn't plotting against her. They just didn't have time or patience for another celebrity tantrum. The internet roasted her mercilessly, joking that the bakery should shut down, hold a press conference, and issue a 10-page apology in icing. Instead, Goldberg's victim playing backfired. Business at the bakery boomed while she got a fresh slice of humble pie, minus the frosting she craved.
Be a dictator. I'm gonna take all the gay folks, I'm gonna move you all around and disappear you. If that's the country you want, you know who to vote for. If that's not the country you want, you have to make a decision.
Or maybe the decision is between somebody who says wild and crazy things, but actually did the president...
Ben Shapiro, much like Bill Maher, has made it his mission to call out Goldberg's endless hypocrisies. She and her woke mafia seem obsessed with painting Trump as a lurking boogeyman while glorifying Biden as a political savior. When facts don't back them up, they simply invent new ones. In her latest outburst, Goldberg accused Trump of planning to wipe out the entire LGBTQ community if he returns to office, a claim Trump never made. But why let truth get in the way when hysteria drives ratings? Social media erupted, mocking her with jokes about a decoder ring that magically transforms Trump's words into whatever she wants. Others quipped that if anyone makes people vanish, it's Biden, given how often he disappears from public view. No surprise then that Goldberg constantly clashes with Maher, even landing herself a suspension from The View after one of their heated exchanges.
And finally, new rule, stop saying that Whoopi Goldberg getting yanked from The View right after she attacked me on The View is karma. There's no such thing as karma, sorry. Sorry, but life is random. The only word to describe it when a big game hunter gets trampled by an elephant and then eaten by lions is hilarious.
It's almost poetic. Whoopi Goldberg, the self-proclaimed moral authority, constantly tripping over her own contradictions while Bill Maher hands out reality checks like free samples. Watching the so-called big game hunter get crushed by the very elephant she tried to slay is priceless. Maher didn't just expose her nonsense, he practically did a victory dance on top of it. The irony? She and her co-hosts spend their careers preaching accountability, yet suddenly it's unfair when the spotlight turns on them. Whether she's twisting Trump's remarks, sparking cupcake scandals, or clashing with Maher, her hypocrisy always comes back to bite. And now, as Maher and Ben Shapiro pile on with brutal reality checks, the anti-woke crowd is savoring every second. That's poetic justice, and it's never tasted better. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more.